have a look. So what exactly long writable text? So I'm assuming everyone remember how many number of input that a mapper is going to take up. How many number of, not the input I'm talking about, how many number of parameters a mapper class is taking up? By default, mapper class picks up how many number of parameters? Okay, oh, sorry, I didn't see if anyone is responding. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, it should be 4, correct? How many number of parameters it should pick? 4 parameter, 2 input, 2 output. Okay. Hope you guys have registered that. 2 input, 2 output, right? That's exactly what we see over here. 2 input, 2 output, right? Now what we said, this is key. So let me explain in slight kind of a revision. But yeah, I mean, I just maybe it's going a little fast now because we are actually slightly behind schedule. But still, it's okay. We'll catch up. Okay. So what exactly is that? So when we said this is my long writable, previously I think it was object for us when we saw it's nothing but one and the same. Okay. It's long writable. This guy. And this guy is nothing but the entire text, right? So this is going to go and sit in over here. Okay. Yeah. Are you guys able to see that? Map extends mapper, right? This mapper class is what you're talking about. So mapper class, this is long write, or this is our offset, right? Byte offset. This is my actual text, right? And this is that is going to go as an output. Okay, output key and output value. Hope everyone is clear with that. I'm having a slight throat infection, so maybe I'm. No. Okay. Fine. So we saw all this stuff, words and how exactly it's been written. So in case you're not very clear about it, make sure you're looking into the previous recording sessions and try to understand how exactly. So what I'd like to say is the moment long writable and text comes in, this exact same class will be taken up by, there is something known as a map method. Okay, that's what it is, map method. This is mapper class, okay, which has been extended by this map. This map is a variable, so I can use even charge map, right? That's what we said in the last session. Extends this particular map. Okay, we're creating an instance of this particular mapper. Okay, in case you're not from a Java background, just understand that exact same property of this, I'm just going to create another object. Okay, other object in the sense just another shelf. Think it as a matchbox. This guy is a matchbox. You're going to replicate exact similar kind of a matchbox, which is named as a map, which will have all these parameters in place. Okay, that's all it says. Not from a Java background, guys, is what I'm talking about. If you're from a Java background, it's fine, you'll be able to understand. But if it's not the case, just that's what it is. Okay. So exact same stuff. A copy of it is maintained by this map, right? And this will have 4 parameters, which you already spoke about: input, key, input value, output key, output value. Okay. Now what you need to understand is these 2 guys, okay, input key and input value, these 2 guys is directly go and sit inside the map method. Okay, this is the map method now. Okay, so what is happening? First long writable, it's been named, this is a variable now. Okay, this guy is going to come directly sit over here, okay, as key, right? This text is going to directly come and sit over here as value. Okay, now our intention is just to pick the value. I don't even care about what is this guy, because we don't care about this byte address, right? There is no way this byte address is going to come in my logic place, right? So only this value I'm going to take up. That's exactly what you can see. String line equal to value dot 2 strings. Okay. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm converting this value which came into me, and I'm converting it into string. Okay. Why exactly do that? Because string has many functions. So what I would recommend is, I mean, in case if you can pick up some very, very light, in case you're not from the Java background, try to understand a small I mean, very, very basic Java. If you can YouTube it, you should be able to do it. Or there might be some sort of basic core Java. Okay, YouTube, just try to use that. I mean, that should definitely help you guys. Yeah, string functions. I mean, some basic core Java. What exactly is? I mean, you don't need to play around with a lot of string functions. It's when you do. See, normally a Java programmer is not going to understand every function and do it. So the moment you need a requirement, you're just going to Google it, and it's exactly a new object or whatever is the new API is being given. That's being created, right? That's anyway. The software industry itself, by itself, is a copy paste. But yeah, that's how you do. You don't by heart all these functions available, right? So here what we're trying to do is just picked up that particular value, convert it into string, okay? And then whenever a space comes in between, I'm going to chop it down, okay? I'm going to chop it down and I made it as this fashion, right? Hadoop was by and all those things. Okay, that's exactly what's happening over here. Once it's done, what I did, context.write, okay, word comma 1. So context.write is something which you need to know now. See here, when the map function came into picture, okay, it accepted only 3 parameter, okay. There were 4 parameters over here, right, in the mapper class 1, 2, 3, 4, but whereas map method had only 1, 2, and 3, okay. So this 3, the final 3 is nothing but the output, whatever you're going to write. It's just a buffer area. This context is nothing but a buffer area, okay. You're just going to throw about whatever your functions you're just going to throw it inside the context. So that throw is exactly what's happening. Hadoop and 1. That's exactly what you're throwing, okay. So at the end of it, this is how you're going to get it. Mapper output as this is how you're going to get it. And automatically what we said, sort and shuffle comes in place, whose functionality is picking up each of those value, the key, it picks up every key and try to understand, okay, one other key thing what you need to understand, mapper output, what will happen, mapper output immediately made this as the key and this as a value, okay, that's how its mapper output is going to go from there, okay. What we said, see, this is a 1, this is Hadoop now, and int writable is nothing but 1. I'm talking about with respect to this particular value, right? Text and int writable, nothing but Hadoop and 1. Text, int writable. Okay. So this entire first words are now the key, and these are the values. And what it's going to do is it's going to shrink all the key together. Okay. It sees 5 keys, similar ones. So what it's going to do is it's going to take up all the key together, merge it together, and how many number of values appear, it's going to keep appending to that particular value. So in case 5 Hadoop it saw, it's going to keep appending that. So that's automatically done by the architecture. Okay. So it just keeps appending the value to it. That's what the sort and shuffle does. So basically, what is happening, the reduce phase input is going to be exactly like this. Okay. So now, that's what the logic we need to write for the reduce step now. So we're just going to see. Not really, Chandra. So combiner is it's advanced topic. So we don't want to bring in combiner over here right now. So maybe benefit of the class, because who doesn't understand what exactly sort and shuffle, it may complicate stuff. So combiner is going to come in when we are going to have, after pig and high, we're going to have an advanced topic coming in. That's the time exactly combiner will be explained. So in case in a one-liner, if you want to know what exactly combiner, whatever reduce function we do, that is exactly being done in each single node. That's what the combiner is. I'll just draw and show it to you just for your benefit. I mean, in case whoever understands it, but whoever doesn't understand what exactly is happening, don't listen to that part of it. That comes as an advanced topic for us. Okay. But I'll show you with the diagrammatic so that you can visualize how exactly things are happening, so that you get a piece of sleep. Right? Okay. So sort and shuffle phase, what exactly is happening? So what we said by the sort and shuffle, this is how exactly it looks like, right? Based on the key, it will just shrink it. If 5 number of exact same Hadoop happens, what it's going to do, it is going to make it as one single key value. Since its key is just going to be one single one, right? So in case duplicate value happens, it's just going to shrink it and make it one single. How many number of occurrence? That number of occurrence, or now that many values will be placed over here, right? So I just want to make that concept pretty clear. So since it is 1, 1, 1, so in case if it was 5 and this was 5, how will that become 5 and 5? In case I would have written a logic like that. Okay, so instead of this, right, I would have written an int writable 5 over here, right? Just a 5 over here. What would happen? The program is going to write in such a way that it's going to be 5 and 5. Hope everyone is clear with that, how exactly that's logic going to happen, right? So let me change it back to 1 itself, okay? So once that process is completed, now things are very, very simple for me. Hadoop gave me an exact, this is how sort and shuffle output gave me. So now what I need to do, what do you guys think? Now what is the next step that I need to get a word count example over here? We're doing. So now understand that for a sort and shuffle, for a reducer, now this is going to be an input for the reducer. Reducer, first is key, this is going to be the key and this is going to be the value, correct? So what should I be doing for getting my final output? What logic should I be applying? If you want to get just a word count. From this example, so think. Sum up, exactly. Sum up what? What should I be summing up? Sum of the values, great, right? Sum of ones, correct. That's great. It's just sum of ones. So basically this I said it's a key. This is just a value. So basically if you're going to write without looking any of the program, let's write our own logic, right? So what you're going to do, just a pseudo logic over here. Display, or so that it's just a pseudo. Just display, what is this key, right? I'm just going to write a logic, display key, comma, sum of values. Does that make sense? Right? That's it. This is all the function I'm going to write. Display key, comma, sum of values. Right? So actually my output will look like Hadoop. I'm asking to display key, right? So that what will happen? Hadoop, comma, or whatever, space or tab, whatever. And 1 plus 1. So summing up all the values. So basically 2, right? So this is exactly what it is, right? Display key, comma, values. And that's exactly what we are going to write here as a Java program. So basically when you introduce Java, there are a lot more jargons to it. So that's the reason where it's a little tough for us to understand, correct? So now one thing you need to understand is, see, this guy is not a single value now. Everyone agrees to that? This is not a single value, correct? Everyone is okay with that concept, right? Everyone okay with that concept, because what happened is when Hadoop took the key and shrunk it, I mean, what is that? It compressed it, and then the value kept on repeating, right? So how many number of values? It kept on repeating. So what happened basically? There are 3 number of values. It's basically an array kind of a stuff, right? It's just a box. I'm assuming everyone is in sync. Okay, great. Vikalp said, yeah, 2 yeah. So I'm assuming exactly. So it's an array, basically an array. No, you can't say Boolean array because see, now you are seeing it as 1 and zeros. That's why it's going to be an array. You can even have, based on your logic, it can even have Sam. One is Sam, then one thing is Kaushik, one is Vikalp or something. Even that can happen based on your logic, right? So it can have anything. But right now our logic is to write 1 over here, right? So that's how exactly it is. So this is an array now with number of word count. I mean, the number of occurrence of a word is being written over here. Now what is going to happen? So I need to take it in my Java program, it exactly as an array, correct? Everyone agrees to that point is what I see. So yes. So that, to accomplish that particular guy, okay. So now look at the reducer. This key, value. So input key, input value, exactly the same. Output key, output value. Same structure, same stuff, exactly the same, right? Now, previously what we spoke about in the previous mapper class, there was a method. Exactly the same. In the reducer class, we have a reduce method, okay? Who take exactly the similar way. 3 input key, input value, and one buffer, context, one output buffer, right? So basically what's happening, whatever comes in that text value, whatever comes in this text value will automatically get transferred to this key. I think someone is on unmute. Yeah. So this data, whatever is sitting in this text, directly go and sit in on the text. This particular guy. Okay. The next variable, wherever it is int writable, whatever value comes in this, directly go and sits in over. Come on, go man. Yeah. This particular y. Okay. Comes and sits into this particular guy, and the context is nothing but once I do all the processing, once I do apply all this logic, sum, minus, subtract, looping, while, and all those things, final output when I'm going to write, that will be written into this context. Is this clear? 3 parameters, how exactly? So input key, input value, and an output buffer. So that's the 3 steps. So whatever I write over here, I need to write it inside this context. So that's what exactly you can see. See here also in the mapper, context.write. Here also you can see exactly context.write. So whatever process I'm doing, the final step I'm going to write this context.write, and then I'm going to mention key, which is nothing but Hadoop, and the sum of the whatever the value I had. Right? So now let's look at a little deeper into it. So what is happening? Int writable, right? So I made this as iterable. Iterable is nothing but, think it as an array. It's just an array, okay, which can store value whatever is coming. So 1, 1, 1, it will be retained exactly like an array. So 1, 1, 1, each iterable's first value will be 1, next value is going to be 1, next value. So the iterable values of 1 equal to 1, values of 0 equal to 1, value of 1 equal to 1, value of 2, value of 3, value of 4, right? So that's exactly how it is going to be. And then what I'm going to do, see, I'm just going to do a sum of it. Sum plus value dot iterate next dot get. So this also don't get confused about much about it. Just think like this is actually getting a next value and just summing it up. That's all. So don't get confused about the values, or not the Java guys. Non-Java guys is what I'm talking about. So Java guys might be able to really understand what exactly. So the moment I get the value, put a dot, I'll get the ID makes you available. Okay, what is next iterator dot next dot get? I'm going to get exactly the result, and that's been stored in very very simple way. It's sum, it gets stored. Okay. Hope. Okay. If anyone, yeah, is it called method chaining? I really don't know that, Kedar. I mean, okay. I'm not sure about, I mean, I don't, okay. So if it's not method chaining, okay, let me note down that. So that's a new learning for me. Method chaining, is it called, is it? Okay. All right. So it's just that it's an iterator from collections. Correct. Java collection. That's correct. So basically what we said, yeah, I hope everyone understands. Sum plus equal to means sum equal to sum plus. So in case if anyone is not there from the complete program, someone might be completely from a database background or something. So for their advantage, sum equal to, it's nothing but sum plus value. That's what exactly sum plus equal to means. Okay. So no harm in if you are completely an administrator, you may not need. So sum equal to sum plus values. That's what exactly happening over here. Okay. And then that value is getting stored on sum, and this is getting repeated till the end of loop. Okay. And the key thing, I'm assuming you guys remember, okay, the Hadoop has made it so simple that you don't need to think about, let me see, you guys remember that you don't need to think about all this line. You just need to think about one single line, how exactly that needs to process. Hadoop will take up a burden of how exactly the remaining lines, exactly the same way remaining line needs to be processed. Okay. So when you program, you just need to think of one single line. Okay. And then how exactly this result needs to be, I need to get this result. Hadoop will take care of looping it through and figuring it out. So here looping, what you're doing, looping this entire sum and coming up with a sum. That's all you're doing. Okay. So that's exactly what it is. Just you got the result, and then you're going to write context.write key and int writable sum. Okay. So now one more thing concept what I need to introduce is there is a writable wrapper class being maintained for so basically you might be aware of, the Java guys may not have seen this int writable. So they might have seen int text, they might have seen Boolean. So here, whatever comes, Boolean writable method, whatever is there, you can see a writable class, a wrapper writable. Oh, I can't even minimize it. That's becoming a pain. Okay. So this is exactly the term I'm talking about. So you might have previously heard of integer, int. So now what we'll have, Boolean, float writable, text writable. Sorry, not text is not a writable. The text is available stuff inside the Java itself. They utilize exactly the same. So now key question in terms of your certification is concerned, in terms of your interview is concerned, why exactly a writable? Okay. So the one thing which you need to understand is there is a concept known as serialization, deserialization. Okay. Why exactly serialization, deserialization? Okay. I'm just going to park this aside, this serialization and deserialization stuff. We are going to take the whenever we are going to cover the advanced topic. Okay. So I just don't want to bring in a lot more complexity to it. So try to understand now. Currently, will I explain? Let me bring in my diagram. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. So one small thing, what you need to, am I wasting you guys time doing so many diagrams and stuff like that? This is very for learning. So that's exactly why I bring in exactly the same. Okay. Yeah, I know you're ready for the whole night class and all those things. I remember your conversation, Mikhail. All right. So basically, what exactly is this? You change your words now. That's not what you said last session. I register all your stuff, Mikhail. All right. So let's get into the step. So this particular node, right? So these are our slave nodes, and we set a master node and stuff like that. Correct? So basically what's happening is when a processing happens or any of this thing happen, any of the processing happens, data needs to get traversed from here to here to here, and all those things. So whenever a map reduce happens, basically what is happening? One file is going to create an output over here, another file going to create an output over here, another file going to create an output. And then after some process, when a reducer function comes up, all these different files available in this particular node needs to be combined together, and that should be present in one single file, one single node. Is this concept clear with everyone? Right? Mapper and reducer, how exactly? We explained this in the one single class, right? So basically when this happens, what is happening here? Here, data is getting exchanged from multiple nodes back and forth, correct? So from here to here, it's going, here to here, it's going. So whenever a data stream is going from one computer to another computer, that needs to be in a serialized form, okay? What do you mean by serialized? I have my text data as this one. Okay, I have my text data as some Hadoop, right? When Hadoop cannot be sent through one node to another, so one computer and another, just like the word Hadoop, it needs to be packaged, right? So first, how do I send it? This is just an object for me. This is how the data will be stored inside my one computer or as a file. So when I send it as a packet to one computer to another computer, I need to serialize it, right? So when I say serialize, nothing but 1000100001 something of this sort. Okay, I'm going to serialize it. Okay, when I convert it to when I serialize it, that is how I'm going to take this particular data from one node to another node. And at this end, what I need to do, I need to again make it a Hadoop back, right? I need to deserialize it. Okay, I do serialize first, and then I do a deserialization. Okay, this is exactly what I do when a data gets transmitted from here to here. Okay, hope that's clear. Here I have an object. I'm going to make ones and zeros, and then I bring it back to Hadoop. So what I need to do is object to byte conversion. Exactly, that's what it is. Object to bytes conversion. Because I need my channel or my I need to send data from one computer to another computer. So that's exactly I'm going to transfer my data. So I can write a program every time when I change from here to here. I have to specifically write an additional code in Java. Okay, do a serialize, do a serialize, and then do a unserialize, and then do another serialize again. Okay, that's how exactly I do it. Right? So that's how exactly I need to do in case code. So instead of doing all this burden, okay, Hadoop is ready to take up that kind of a burden in itself, and it came up with a wrapper class which is nothing but int writable. Okay, so when I make an object as int writable, okay, what exactly is doing is instead of making it manually, you doing a serializing and deserializing and all those things, it itself take care of doing all this stuff for you. That is what an int writable class is going to do. Okay, it's going to do an okay, I'm just trying to read the concept. I think writable concept is similar to the Java. No, exactly. So see, first and the foremost thing what you need to understand is the entire Hadoop architecture is built on Java. Okay, so whatever concept I'm talking about is nothing but a pure Java. Okay, so Java's concept is been taken up and then twisted, tweaked, and then how exactly they have implemented in the Hadoop architecture. Okay, so that's why Java guys are have a little upper edge over here. Okay, I heard you said string are not used in Hadoop. Instead, it uses text. So for Hadoop, it is called int writable. No. Basically, we need a serialized and deserialized class. So basically, strings are not that, right? But text is serialized and deserializable object. Okay, so that's exactly the reason. Okay, so let's not go too much into detail about it. Serialize, okay, and coming to Keda's question, serialize is a marker interface. It's just a tag on the class object method to indicate the compiler that it should be serialized. A bit confused in wrapper class. What I would say is not to go much in detail about it, but anyway, we are going to see it. So the convert the text to binary. So right now understand that the text or an object, what we call as text, I need to convert it into binary and convert it back to the string. Okay. So in case the writable method was not there, you have to write your Java code, the serializable, exactly the same Java code. Convert into first serialize it and then deserialize it. That specific code you may have to write over here. So instead of doing all this additional burden, what Hadoop guys has done is they made a wrapper class, which is a writable class. Okay, so that's why you can see int writable, float writable, double writable, all those things ending with writable. Okay, so that you don't need to do an additional code. That's all you're doing. So in case if you're saying no, I'm okay for writing an additional code, I prefer writing code, you can do that as well. So you can use that input whenever it's coming. You can use as an integer and then make it as serializable. Serializable in the receiving end. You can make it as deserializable. All these things can be done. So just to avoid this complexity, a wrapper class is being built in. Okay, so wrapper class terminology. So I'm assuming you guys got the concept of how exactly this is happening. This is another computer and how exactly data is gone. Okay, what is the wrapper class? Can be called as derived class for your custom functionality. Yeah. So I just want to bring in, okay, in a very layman concept. Okay, this is one computer. This is another computer, right? So Hadoop needs to be transferred to the network and to the different computer. So I'm just going to make it as ones and zeros. Okay, I need to send this as a packet and send it to other guy. Okay, so here I'm going to do a serialization. Okay, making ones and zeros, and then I do a deserialization over here. Okay, which is going to convert it back to the object, Hadoop object, and then store it over here. So this has been accomplished using a int writable or int float writable or whatever it is. That's exactly what has been done. Okay, we are going to get into this stuff whenever we do a advanced MapReduce concept. We are going to get a lot more clarity into it. But hope this this concept is okay with you guys as of now. Okay, so that's one portion. And now what we need to see is, how exactly a reducer is being, we saw even the reducer part, right? How exactly, so that's why you see whenever in between what you will see is normally an integer sum, all the C. Basically you can see integer sum over here, right? What it's been doing, because inside the program you're going to do it. You can use an integer and try doing any Java functionality, you can work over here. But whenever you're going to throw it out, whenever you bring it in, that's the only time you need to be careful about making it as iterable and iterable, this stuff, right? So you're converting in this particular sum to iterable and then doing a context.write, right? Making it as iterable sum and then doing a context.write so that it's being received over here, text and iterable, right? So now the next part of it, what you're going to see is, that's exactly, Kedar. To send Hadoop, we need to do a packet. We cannot send Hadoop. That is achieved by writable. That's correct. Yeah, you can take it that way. Okay. So now what we need to understand is, now since I have written all the mapper, and so why need iterable for sum? Sum is integer, right? That's exactly what I said, right? Because see, sum you have made inside, I have made it as sum, and sum is nothing but defined as integer, correct? Now integer, when I need to go take it to outside world, so now what is going to happen? So I need to make it as the reducer, and it's going to go outside the reducer class. Or what I need to do, I need to store it into some other node or stuff like that. So in that case, what I'm going to do, right? So I need to make it as iterable or serialized form. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So whenever it goes from it, whenever it comes to this class or whenever it moves out of this class, I need to make it as iterable and send the data back and forth. That's exactly what to do in one way, if I say. Okay. Fine. So basically you saw a sum as an integer, all the calculation, everything is made. And the final step is for me, write it into this particular buffer. I'm going to write it. So context.write key, which is nothing but Hadoop, comma, that summed value, which is 2 or 4 or whatever it is for me. So that's being converted to iterable and then it'll be stored over here. Okay. So now let's move on to the driver part of it. Set jar by class. So this is nothing but my main class name. Okay. So this is conf is a job configuration. Okay, this is my job name. What exactly I name it, I can write it whatever I need. So word count or whatever, it's going to be a variable. So that I can just recognize my job when some 100 jobs are running, I can recognize. That's why I'm making it as a name. And whatever configuration, so basically what is happening in this conf is, you guys remember we had a okay, what are the 3 parameter file which you used? All this file? 3 key parameters file which we were using? Yes, XML file. That's the 3 parameter file. Just want to make sure you guys don't remember, don't forget all this concept. Yeah, conf site, great. It's not conf site, it's core site.xml. Great. Core site.xml, mapred site.xml, and htfs site.xml. Great. All right. So hope this is it. So those configuration stuff is getting copied into this guy. So when I do a configuration, so that property is being taken up by this conf. Okay, that's automatically taken by the system. And now what I'm doing is set jar by class. So job jar by class is this particular word count program. Okay, I'm going to write it as word count.class, right? And then this output and input key. So let's park this aside time being. Set output key class, set output value class. That's nothing but text and iterable. So 2 classes I'm introducing over here. Okay. So text, this is going to be set output key class. So how exactly my output should appear like? My output is what? This guy. Okay. This is my output, right? This is text. And how is the output key class? This is output value class, right? So that's exactly been explained over here. Set output key is text and output value class is int-writable class, right? So that's exactly what this is, right? And now set mapper class. So now we know that mapper and reducer, right? Set mapper is nothing but map dot. So this can even be charge map, right? This should match with exactly the name what we're providing over here, correct? This one, this map. Okay, this can be even be charge map is what I said, charge map. Okay, in that case, down it will be charge map. So just to identify which is the mapper and which is the reducer, that's been done by the driver. So driver just points out, okay, this map dot class needs to be treated as mapper. So that's what set mapper class is map, set reducer class is reducer. Set input format class. So this is exactly the same way. Set input format. How exactly is the input format should look like? So this is the one which I spoke about. This is the default stuff. Like we have multiple other XML input format. There is 30 input format, so many other input format. But by default, it's going to be text input format. So text input format class is equal to, so because of this guy, okay, okay, is what we are having this as byte address, okay, this byte address and this particular as value. Okay, so this is the default class, default text input format. So in case if you want to change it, I need to name it as different. So this is what we are going to see as an advanced map reduce technique, which we'll be seeing in our maybe after 4 or 5 sessions. We are going to see this. Okay, these are all advanced topics. So if you are using by default is my byte address and my value. Okay, and that is being achieved by making it as text input format class. Okay, now this text output format exactly the same way. Text output format class, which will be my by default output. How exactly this guys are. Okay, now these two parameters are nothing but my input and output. Okay, now this is my input and output. So what exactly is this? We are going to see that. So just remember this parameter. Okay, file input format dot add input path as argument 1. So when I execute my program, okay, let me show that exactly. I'm going to execute the program. So my command for executing this program will be Hadoop jar. Okay, and then I'm going to create a jar, maybe wc10.jar. Okay, then I'm going to write word count, which is nothing but my main class. Okay, this is going to be my main class, right? This is a driver. This is exactly my main class. In case I'm just going to trying to show you guys, right? Word count, right? So that's my driver class. And then I'm going to write input file and output file. So I need to find out some, I think I already have some input file. And this is going to be input file, input, where is it? Input and output. Okay, so Hadoop jar, this is my jar file, class name, and this is going to be input and this is going to be my output. Okay. So that's exactly where you can see this guy. And I see the driver program, you can see it as, you can see this guy as, see arguments of 1, arguments of 2. Okay. And arguments of 1 is what? File input format dot add input path. Okay. So this is what? Input file parameters. And this is what? Output file parameters. And that's how it's going to look like. Okay. Yeah. Let me put that and then put this. Yeah. So this is the guy. And this is exactly my syntax is going to be. Okay. So now how exactly I need to create my, let me close this. I think I made a lot of changes, which I should no. Okay. So now how I have, Okay, so I guess I have shared a document with you guys, or is that document already available? How exactly I need to execute the Java program? Did I share the document with you guys? How exactly I can execute a Java program? What is the class that I need to assign and stuff like that? Did I share that with you guys or no? No one has looked in the documents. I'm thinking I have shared that document with you. Okay, in case not, I'll be sharing it. So basically what it says is, once I create a project, once I create a program, what I need to do. First thing, what I need to do. I think I have already explained you guys. Apart from that, oh yeah, I remember now. Apart from sharing it, I even shown you. So okay, can someone help me out how exactly I can reach that path? I need to now make sure I'm just going to compile this program. How will I do that? What should I be doing? From here, I'm going to compile my program. Build path. Great. Great, Prasad. So build path, okay. I'm just going to do for build path, just a revision for so that you guys. Now what? Configure build path. Great. Configure build path. And after that, where should I be going? So I'm making you guys repeat this. Yeah, add jar here and there. You remember, but once you need to know. Okay, libraries, great. Add external jar, great, right? And then I'm going to include all the libraries available. So you might be slightly different from what my previous thing that was an ACADGIL VM. This is a Cloudera VM. So there might be a slight difference. But yeah, that's exactly the step that you need to. And that document which I've been shared, you have step-by-step instruction where you need to go and pick the jar from. All right. So great. So I mean that is where you get all these red marks corrected. Otherwise, you will find all here and there red spots which says there is some sort of an error in your code. Okay, I can't see the API which you defined, so make sure correct APIs are or the correct class methods or objects are being placed. All those things, right? Okay, once I need to do, I need to right click. I need to how exactly I'm going to create a jar file. Export. Okay. Right click. First is my package, right? Yeah, export. And then I'm going to make it as runnable jar. Word count. Is it a CADGIL? We just cancel it and see if it's a CADGIL. Yeah, it's correct. It's a CADGIL. Right click, export, runnable jar, it's CADGIL, WC11. So instead, maybe let me make it as 12. I think 11 is already existing. Okay, I don't know. So I'm finishing it off. So and it's Sigum Cloudera exec and WC12 finish. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I created a jar WC12 now. Just jar file, right? Just jar file. That's correct. Just jar file. So I created inside. Let me minimize it. Let's come up Cloudera. I created an exe. And then, okay, so many jars I created. So WC12, this is the latest one which I created now. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I need to execute this command from here. Right click. I'm going to open in terminal. So I just get it. So when I do an ls command, I see all these jars. So WC12 is what I latest created. My intention is run this word count program using a MapReduce program, right? That's exactly what I want to do. So first thing I'm trying to see is where exactly is the file club. So shdefs efs minus ls. I think shaji slash acadgil. That is a folder. Hadoop text. I think this is the guy. Hadoop text. Let's see what is the content. Okay, 0 block location for Shajira Hadoop text. I'm not in the read only mode. Okay. So why it has gone to save? Oh, okay, got it. So how do I set safe mode? I actually forgot the command how to. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me just take this out. Just before the session, what I was just trying around shutdown. Shut down. Let me bring this session back again. So basically, one single stage. So this is exactly. Remember, we have spoken about the data getting copied to a name node and stuff like that. So that time also you may face exactly. So whoever is the administrator part, they'll find this. So for that copying stuff, for the name node metadata to be copied and all those things. So what it does is it does that safe mode on step so that none of the activity can be performed. So in case if you try to copy it, it'll say your name node is not active now. Name node is in the safe mode on. So that means you cannot do an edit or write or anything. It will prevent you from any data to be copied into our cluster. So that's exactly what is happening now. So what I was doing is I just did a force shutdown because my system was getting hung. So I just did a force shutdown and played around with the environment just before the session. So that has goofed up it slightly. Just trying to see if it's. To be frank, yeah, even I forgot how. I mean, how exactly safe mode is. I guess it's a set safe mode on safe hyphen mode, I believe. But yeah, I don't want to waste too much of time doing R&D on the command. Okay. Okay. So we have actually run a lot of. Yeah, but we can catch up with the. Let me. Oh, come on. It's DCCPP8. Okay, this all issues you can see. Basically, what it's telling is the connection refused error. So basically, why exactly is it? It's the host. I'm not sure why exactly this is happening, but the solution for this is I need to change my /etc/host. That's true. Yeah, so instead of now 3, I need to bring a new guy in. DCP CPP8. Solve in, control it. Now I need to exit. Let's see whether it pick up without restarting it. At times it doesn't pick up. So most probably it may not. HDFS. Yeah, I may have to go for a restart. See, at times it picks it. Yeah, okay. I think I have to go restart. System. How do I restart the network service, Kaushik? This icon, is it? This network icon. Tell me, how do I do that? The command line. In the command line, if I do a service network restart, is it? Okay, I'll try that next time. Let me note on that. Okay, it's been init. Okay, init at /. Okay. Great. See, there you go. That's why. So let me just copy that. Put it in the session stuff. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll find out where exactly that comes, and then I do it. Okay, now I'm assuming that's came up correctly. What happened? Something is happening now. Yeah, there you go. Everything is up. Okay, so now HDFS, DFS minus LS. Yeah, so you may have to see all these commands. I mean, whatever I did, because that's something which you may end up having with changing that host address. That's something which a common error that you may end up getting it. Right. So now I think I have some shaji.acadgil. Let's make sure we executed once correctly and just give an introduction to yeah, Hadoop.text. Right, yeah. So now I need to go inside where exactly now? CD exec / yeah, this is where exactly ls I can cw. So Hadoop, the command for execution is Hadoop jar wc12 dot jar. Okay, word count, that's the class. And then I need to mention which exactly is my input file, which is nothing but this file sitting inside the Hadoop environment. This is going to be my input file. Okay. This is exactly my input file. And the next one, this is the key stuff that you need to remember. Okay, once what you should be having is the next one, whether you're giving it as an output file, should not exist. So right now there is an out as well as result existing. Let me just make it as result2 / shaji / acad guild / result2. Okay, so word count / acad guild / result2. Okay, hope this is fine. Now what we're going to see is Yeah, so my mapper and reducer is getting kicked off, right? So I can see a mapper 0%, reducer 0%. Did we finish off this execution in the last class? It's already been taken. So you saw the execution, I believe, right? Yeah. Yeah, now once I do it, because even in our webinar we just showed it, so that's now I remember. Yeah, this is already done. Okay, so this is where you can see the maximum. I mean, all the this is called the counters. You can see how many number of the complete statistics of the program, like how many number of mappers, how many number of reducers being kicked off. I think this is where I just recollect. Someone has asked me the question, how many it's been shown mapper and reducer being kicked off and all those things. I think someone has asked. I think Supna, someone has asked this question. Okay, so number of records I have. How number of records it's there. Once a reduce process is completed, how many number of data I'll be seeing. All the statistics is being given over here. Now what we're going to see. So HGFS, GFS. Now some couple of points that you need to remember. Minus ls /rg /cadger /out. Right? Sorry, result 1, I guess. Result 2. Yeah, inside result 2. So did I explain what exactly is this? Yeah, I think even this is explained. I can. So what does this signify? The second character of it. What does this signify? Yeah, it's a reduced output. So in case if there is no reducer in place, that's going to be a M over here, part -M -0000. So that means it has not gone through a reducer process. It has just gone through the mapper process. And what you can see over here is now the result, like how many number of Hadoop is going to be appeared 3, cutting 1, tech 2. This is the map reducer. So what I recommend you is just try to take an input file and try to play around with it, execute it, and try to understand this step. How many number of bytes are there? You can just try to see whatever the concept which we described already explained. How much is matching with the data which we already have. Okay, spill record and all those things. We're going to see it in the advanced topic. And one book which I really recommend you guys. I mean, in case if you have, I think I have already explained Hadoop Definitive Guide. So that has clearly explanation. I mean, that's pretty much a very, very in-depth concept. But since you guys understand this concept, it's good to know what exactly is a spill. It may not be that easy for me to get explained. I mean, it's a how exactly that particular each data coming inside each different node, how exactly that is together. That's a very high level view of it. There is intrinsic. There are too many things. So if you're going to attend for some certification in depth, so those are the kind of thing that you need to. So can you tell me the book again? Little slow. Okay, Kaushik. Nice. Yeah, it's Hadoop Definitive Guide. I think I have showed you guys also the picture, everything. Okay. Hadoop Definitive Guide 4th edition. Okay. This is the one by Tom White. That's correct. By Tom White. This is the Bible considered now the current Bible of the Hadoop. See, this it's going to slightly move out from stuff. So this, okay, if you don't want to really spend money straight away, if you want to first have a feel of it, and then once you get a grip of it, if you want to spend money, it's available. What is that? IT books, right? Yeah, ebooks IT. This is the one. This is available free of cost. I mean, the PDF version of it's available. I think this should be the one. Link to ebook. You can download it from here. Free. I don't think that's actually a pirated one because sorry, there are too many contents coming up. So maybe you guys can just. It's not a pirated one because what they do market it even the PDF version. This thing, but if you want to really go for your but yeah, not all. I mean, IT ebooks. I think ebooks is. I think they are being copying or something like that. But the PDF version of this book is available in the actual market. Well, I mean, that's a different sort of a marketing strategy with which they have trying to. I mean, see, a person like me, I definitely like that. No, it's not a Kindle edition. It's actually a PDF edition. It's not an. Okay, I think this is an ebook Kindle edition, I believe, right? Yeah, but there is. I mean, I feel having a feel of it, taking it, turning the pages, writing it down on the book, and all those things. That's what I believe in. Maybe a little old school, but yeah, that's how I prefer it. Yeah, hard copy is best. Yeah, so a different perception, but yeah, there are a number of colleagues in front of me who says that you have wasted your money. So yeah, that's much comfortable. So you can it's nice actually to buy that book. It's a definitely a good guide for you. Okay, so that's something for you to go through and get the concept pretty much more in depth. So it explains each intrinsic level by level. How there is something known as a circular buffer memory. How much when a data needs to be accumulated in a memory, how much it needs to be spilled into a hard drive. Too much concept. But you will not be able to get exactly the same concept right now. But I would recommend slowly once you get through this or you're understanding this concept pretty clear, start going through that book and like underline it, draw a figure, waste so many papers and doing all those things, and you'll be able to get those concepts pretty much in black and white pretty firmly. Okay. All that being said, we are way behind the schedule for the big stuff. So what I'm trying to do is now so now the biggest question being asked is, okay, what if I don't understand much of the Java jargons and system.print.l, system.out.println and all those things. It's just like Greek and Latin to me. What exactly I should be doing? So that's where a savior comes for you in terms of, okay, big for you. Okay, so too much of fundas is being spoken over here. So I just want you guys to go through this, and get hated. Just read through all the stuff. I don't want to get into. So who uses it? We said it's a data analyst or a data scientist who normally uses it, but I would say it's a business analyst who's a religious user of it. And slightly, I would disagree with one point over here. Most being used by a data SQL kind programming or something. It's not actually. It's a full flow through programming language kind. Uses big Latin language. Somewhere over here it's mentioned. Use simple syntax. I recollect seeing it. Okay. Yeah. So just need to understand it's a plain English-like language that has been utilized, and that is where. So basically, Pig is being developed by Yahoo. Right. So Facebook came up with Hive, which is more like SQL developer. It's meant for select star from and all those things. So in parallel, what Pig was doing is, so there were a lot of guys in Yahoo who was not really a Java programmer. So what they said is, we have a lot of Java programmers sitting over here. So why don't we create another script itself, okay, using the Java program, so that many who doesn't understand Java, they can also start contributing towards the Hadoop ecosystem. So that's how the baby Pig, what do you call for Piglet, is it? Piglet was born. Okay, so that's how exactly we have the concept over here. So this is the key functions, many built-in functions and operations. So there are a huge number of built-in functions available, and this is exactly Java, and this is exactly a Piglet, right? Yeah. So in reality, I think we should have even shown you the exact thing. So what normally some of my others had, there is exactly 1, 2, 3, which is 30, 30, 30, and 90 lines of code, 90 lines of Java code. Okay, not even 90. I believe it was 120 lines of close to Java code was being done by 16 lines of Pig script. So that's exactly the difference what you find over here between Pig and Java code. So that's one of the reasons where people who doesn't understand. Is that an expansion for the Pig thing? Prodigal son of. Okay, you're just telling, okay, Pig, prodigal son of big data. Okay. Yeah, Pig is. Yeah, got it. I was just trying to. Yeah. Yeah, so pig is very, very easy. But it's just how well you uses it and make it complicated. So if you really see some of those pig script written in the production environment, it's a little complicated one. But to understand it, to write it, it's pretty simple. So my intention was I could show you guys some pig script, but it's too much delayed now. So some key steps that you need to know. Tuple is nothing but one single row. Employee ID, employee name, employee ID, employee name, employee salary. One single row is known as a tuple, right? Even in the Oracle concept or any other company, it's called a tuple. Combination of this particular tuple. So if 5 row were there, 5 row constitute together, make it as a bag. Okay, that's the bag. Relation is nothing but the variable in pig. Okay, tuple bag relation. Okay, so now this is how. So instead of doing this, what I would prefer doing is, let me show you guys. So how much time we have? 10 minutes. Yeah, we have 10 minutes. So tuples is from Python. Ah, really? Tuples, I guess, existed before Python was even born. I guess even if you call your Oracle one single, this is known as a tuple, right? Because I remember in my graduation, yeah, it's in database. That's correct. So we do it in the database. Tuples. Yeah, tuples is nothing but a row. That's correct. Okay. So this is something which you can look into. Okay, some only stuff that I need to explain over here is tuple, bag, and map. Map is nothing but key value. This is key and this is value. Okay. So all the things we're going to see a little bit more in detail. So before that, yeah, this stuff you can see, filter for each, some of this thing we are going to see in deeper. So basically when I write a pig script, what is happening behind the scene? There is a parsing, compiling, optimization plan, everything. So what it means is, whatever script that you write behind the hood, okay, it's being converted to a Java program, and that's how exactly it's done. Okay, that's exactly it's happening. Right. So that's pretty much what it is. So we are going to just directly go and jump on top of the pig and start writing it. All right. So how do I get the pig? Just type in pig and enter. Okay. Hopefully there is no issue. Okay. So the moment I type, what I'm getting is grunt shell. Okay. This is known as a grunt shell. Okay. So what we'll try to do is, we have my last seminar we were been taking something. So let's exactly duplicate of the same stuff. Let me see. Let's execute exactly the same thing. So that's makes you guys will be much. Let's pick up. I think I have that database too, so it's much easy to explain that. Okay, but what we have done is, it's a real data we picked up from the website. It's a complete consumption of a petrol, okay, or a gasoline, whatever you call it. Petrol consumption is what is meant. Okay, petrol consumption from each what do you call for that provider, is it? Petroleum consumption. What interesting fact, log is belong to it's a peak perform data analysis. Okay, for each distributor, how much of the petroleum is being consumed by each distributor? That's exactly what you're going to see now. Okay, so let's just have a look at this guy. Let's see the data first. Okay, so I've placed this data over here. Okay, and this data is even sitting in my local machine. So let's see this data. Okay, this is how exactly the data looks like. Okay, so distributor ID. This is distributor ID. This is shell. Distributor name is shell, and buy rate, sell rate, how much it's been bought for, how much it's been sold for, volume in and how much is the volume is being taken up by Shell and how much is went out, and what is the final one and the year it's been sold. So 1624. Okay, it's too much of a backlog data. So till 2023, I don't understand what exactly they're trying to predict the future. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is exactly how the data look like. Okay, so from here, what is analytics that we're trying to do is how much volume of data is being consumed by each distributor. So what I'll be doing is, okay, so in terms of words, I'm just going to explain first. I'll be taking up the entire data. Okay, I'll group by. Okay, first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter. Okay, how I'm going to filter? I'm just going to take up. It's not actually filter. Or what should I be telling? Filter in the sense, filter is actually filtering of rows, but that's not what's going to happen. So filter is, I mean, I'm not going to talk about filter. So what I want to do is, I just want to take up this guy, this distributor, okay, and the volume. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I think 0, 1. Sorry, it starts with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is out value, right? How much ever as the volume of data that has gone out, the volume out. So this distributor and this guy, these are the two values I'm interested in. The remaining data, I'm just going to throw away. This is one very, very key thing that you need to understand. So in case if you're going to get a production data in a CSV format, and mostly we have been playing around with CSV format only. It's a comma delimiter. In case of CDR, which is call data record, okay, in terms of telecom industry, in terms of retail industry, mostly you'll be getting a CSV file. Okay, so when you're doing such kind of analytics, you can even have a complete text format, log, and all those things. So at current example I'm talking about. So first I'm going to chop down, take up only this guy and this guy. That's all I'm going to do. Okay. Once I do that, I'll just have only 2 columns. Okay. Once I get that 2 column, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the shell together. Okay. All the shell together, and then corresponding out value for that. So what will happen is shell space 843. Then what is the next shell value? 891, 841. So exactly the same in a row. Every of the data is going to come up. After that, what? After that, I'm just going to sum it up that value part. Is this clear with everyone, or am I going a little too much stuff over here? Let me make it a clear. Okay, great. Right, so that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So in that case, yeah, I just don't want to waste much of your time. So we may not have just 6 minutes. So let's execute this. So I'm assuming everyone understood what exactly is our case scenario, what you're talking about, right? So let's start. So see how easy pig is, okay? What I'll just do a copy paste, even though how easy it is. So now I just need to make some changes over here because, okay, let me do one thing. For the sake of simplicity, let me take up this entire guys, come over here, put it in gedit, copy it over here, and then explain something what's happening. Okay, as I need to copy this guy, make quotes, and this guy text. See, the syntax, the command is as simple as this. Just load command. Everyone understand what exactly is the load command, right? See, pretty straightforward, simple. No, but I have my data. It got minimized. Uh-oh. I'm just trying to see Shaji slash, it was slash Shaji slash acad guild Shaji slash acad guild slash petrol data. So everyone understand this stuff? So what exactly I'm doing? I'm just storing this entire file, right? Shaji.petrol file is being stored into petrol. And each data, I'm naming it over here. ID, name, all these things I'm naming it over here. Okay. I can even do it without that. because here I'm already naming it. So there is no need for me to do that. Okay, I can just do this as well using pig storage, comma. Let me do it that way so that I don't need to type in all this command, or it's you guys understand it's in a different way. Yes, you need to write all the stuff manual, Vikal. So here what I'm trying to do, I'm not going to include all the stuff. Oh, what happened? Come on. Okay, fine, good. No, I didn't want to close the terminal. So if I close it, I'll have to again come back over here. So the issue is, since I put that, there is something. Oh. Yeah, the reason behind, one single quote should do our stuff. One single quotes and this guy. No, one more quotes and this guy. Okay. So the reason behind it is I have not filled the quote. Single quotes is missing. Great. Thanks, Apna. Yeah, that's observation. Right. So this guy was missing over there. That's the reason it was creating an issue for us. Now it's done. Okay. Set debug off. This is the first command which I'm going to type in the moment I get inside the set debug off. Okay, just because I don't want to get all this warning message. That's the reason. So I'm going to do a set debug off so that I don't get this warning messages. Right. So now I have run the first command. The first command is nothing but loading my entire data into the petrol relation. You call it as relation. Nothing but for another normal program is nothing but the variable. Okay, so now if I want to do temp underscore p, okay, just temp. What I'm trying to do is limit petrol, right? Petrol. I think there is by 5. Is there any error in this? Yes. Yeah, now it's correct. So limit petrol 5. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get the first 5 lines of that petrol relation. Nothing but, so what you need to understand, the variable, the petrol variable contains now the entire file is being stored in the petrol variable. Okay. From that, I'm picking up the first 5. Now I can use a command dump temp. Okay. I've just dumped temp. There might be some key observation that you need to make, which I'm going to explain next session. I don't want to do that now. You may be, if you're seeing pig for the first time, you might be entering, okay, at times it gets take the command, but at times there is so much of fundas happening. So why is all those things? Can I extend this session for 5 minutes? Is that all right with you? So that we'll just get it executed and you guys, yeah, there you go. There you go, Vikal, record your statement. Yeah, so basically, okay, meanwhile it's coming. So basically what's happening, the map reduce process is running behind the scene. So whatever pig script, what we did, loading and all those things, behind the scene, it's getting converted to a Java program, and that Java program is getting executed over here. So whenever we ran the Java program also, you might have seen exactly similar kind of stuff happening, right? So that is typically what is happening over here. So now what we did, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines was supposed to come, right? Okay. Oh, okay. That's an issue with the first line had a data coming in, right? So we don't want to fidget with that right now. So right now let's use even that stuff. Okay. So the first 5 lines have been picked up. Okay. So now what you're trying to do, what we said, we are going to filter it, right? So now, what is that? Okay. I forgot some of those commands. Okay. Now what we need to do is, so now there is no naming being done for this guys. Okay. This guys, why? I have not classified each of these guys separately. I have loaded because you guys remember, right? I was lazy enough to type in that entire. So I was purposely doing that. See, I have run this command, right? Whereas in our document, we will be given this stuff. Okay, I can here. So we have that, right? So in our document, we have the entire stuff, right? I have not keyed in this command. So basically, what it means is it's a raw data now. There is no naming. I cannot separately call this guy as ID, this guy as distributor, or anything of that sort. Hope you guys got that. So now, with that being said, now because what is saying is the next statement says to name it. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a new variable out of it. For each petrol. So this is not correct. So I need to write petrol. That's not, it's not P, petrol. Okay. So each petrol, for each petrol, generate $1 as name and $5 as out. Hope everyone got this. There's no big funda in this. Pretty straightforward English language. Is it fine with everyone? But make sure you guys are, I'm being paid for making you aware of that. Okay. Hope everyone is fine with this. In case no one, you can raise your hands. Right? Everyone fine? Let's move forward. Okay. So we explained already what exactly was happening. So now this also is pretty cool. Thanks, guys. I mean, that yes helps me a lot, because if you guys don't respond to it, I may be in a confusion whether you really understood or are you expecting me to explain or whatever it is. So that's fine. So, but make sure in case even if a single no is there, make sure you're raising it so that we explain it. Okay. So GD is group PF. So group PF by name. Okay. So group PF, that means this guy has been grouped by name, this particular name. So basically what we saw, shell, right? That shell will be grouped. So only one single shell will be there. And whatever is the value that is coming into this particular value will be just shared. I mean, it will be coming in parallel. Okay. So that's exactly what is happening over here. Group by name. Paste. Okay. So let me see what exactly is that. Not struct. I forgot what was the command to see structure. Let me see. Was that illustrate? I don't think it's illustrate. Illustrate for some other purpose. Okay. I mean, anyway, I didn't intend to do that this time. Yeah, it's not illustrate. Remove, register, quit. Okay, let me describe GD. Describe GD only, I believe. Describe GD. Yeah, so this is exactly what it is. So now GD, you can see it as group, and I can see it as byte array and byte. So yeah, thanks. Okay, so I didn't see your note. Yeah, that's exactly what describe is. But not describe just is telling me about its structure. So what I wanted to see is that data. If I do a GD now, okay. So what I'm trying to do is now dump GD. So now you guys saw this, right? So GD, how exactly GD comes up? The group, there's a group, and there is the remaining data coming. So now let's do a dump for GD. I'll see. When I do a dump for GD, what exactly happened? What exactly? Why exactly it's not able to open? Fail to read data from there. Why? Okay, I think there is some goof up happens. Okay, in case we are not able to execute it, we will not do it. We'll do it in the next session, but let's give it a try. For each GD generate. So I think we have done till here. So it did not show me any error when we actually ran the command. Okay, and now let's dump this. Yeah, it's actually giving map reduced on tag is null. It is not able to read from ACAD guild petrol.text. Not sure why exactly that happened. So in case if we are not able to read it, let's PF petrol. Okay, let's do it one single try. Or next once. Yeah, we are going to wind up right now. Maybe in case if you're not able to execute it, it's fine. So we're going to see it anyways in the next session. Oh, come on. Yeah, because I wanted to even. Okay, so basically, what is happening here? The text was missing. Okay, I corrected that, and here this guy is there. Correct. It should not be a big deal. And why exactly it's telling it can't? Because even it has read that particular data and we saw the output, that means it should not create an issue. So let's write this one. No, because I have asked for you guys 5 minutes. I understand that everyone needs to go to work and stuff like that. So I apologize for extending it. Okay. Dump S. Oh man, no, there is something. Unable to open the iterator for alias S. Unable to open the iterator for S. For each GD generate group. For each GD generate group, comma sum of PF. Oh yeah, PF dot out. PF dot out. That's exactly what it is. Why it's not. Okay. It's not able to recognize this guy. Fail to read data from, okay. Yeah, so I mean, I really don't want to hold you guys back. So in case I will be executing it for sure in the next. So, okay. So I guess whoever just want to wind up, it's fine. So we are not going to do anything more than firefighting. So let's who want to sit and do it. I mean, I just don't want to put a hard and fast rule. So that's all we are going to do. Just trying to firefight. So even I'll be interested in getting it 5 more minutes, spending some time on it. So those of you guys who think early morning they want to get up, you guys can just wrap up and we'll speak to you on Thursday. Okay, so remaining folks, you really want to sit and help me out in getting this firefight. Let's try it for some time. So now if I take up temp petrol anyway was working for us, so that means it's working fine. So for each petrol, generate $1 as name and generation as route. So so this is PF for each petrol, generate $1 as name and this thing guy, right? So now what I want to do is I want to put a temp equal to limit, just to make sure if that data is fine. Limit PF, maybe 10. Okay. And then I want to dump temp, just to make sure. There you go. So basically it's really not able to read stuff from here. Oh, I think what would have happened is the same issue would have happened for what we faced initially. So now let's see HDFSLS if this is working fine. This is working fine. Petrol.text. Is this the petrol.acad guild at petrol.text acad guild? That's strange. But we have done this guy, right? Let's do one thing. Let's take this guy. Shaji.text. Let's copy paste him over here. Okay, I truly believe there is some issue over here. Now, since it's not able to clearly showing, it's not able to read. So let's do a limit over here itself. Paste. Done. Now let's do a limit. Temp equal to limit petro. So one key thing what you can remember is this petro. So first thing what I need to do is the limit command. I mean limit in the sense the real command that I need to give first, and then the variable, and then what is the parameters associated with the variable. So temp. Let's see whether it's able to pick up. No, it's not able to pick up /e/petrol data txt. What is happening with that then? Let's see the error. Fail to read data from here. Let's try copy. No, it's actually not an access issue. Did we do a pig minus X or something? So pig minus X and pig, quit, right? Pig minus X and pig. We need to understand pig. When I give, it's actually accessing my Hadoop environment. Whereas when I do a pig minus X, it's going to be my local environment. Yeah, that's my local environment. This is another command which we put in. That's how exactly I access my local environment. But I'm trying to access my here I'm not accessing my local environment. I'm accessing my Hadoop environment. So yeah, I mean, to be frank, this at times it gives set debug off. Yeah, the ground reality is at times it gives some sort of weird such kind of error, and then we log out and log in again. Things get perfectly fine. So let's see if that is the same case over here too. Now what we need to do, temp equal to limit petrol 10 and dump. So there's nothing that we did apart from that. I think now it's working. So this is exactly what we did the last time. Yeah, so there's nothing. Yeah, that's working now. So there's nothing. Yeah, I mean, this is what we even expect. I mean, we even seen in the live environment at times. So we just log out, log in again. So not a great. I mean, we didn't want to spend time in debugging the actual pig and reporting a bug. No one has time for really doing that. But yeah, it's good in case if you can really find out something in production environment, reporting back to them. Even now, so the version which I'm using is 4.7. So now the latest one is 5.5 VM Cloudera instance. So see, that's all it is. So I think I'm extremely sorry that I wasted here so much of a time. But yeah, that's a learning. So now you know. But yeah, any issue that you create, log out and log in is not an issue. I mean, not a solution. But yeah, at times even this happens is what I'm trying to say, because there is nothing that we did apart from this. It's exactly the same, but at times it behaves weird. Pig becomes the real pig. Okay. So I think this time I should get dump S. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's working. Oh, it's 15 minutes. Yeah, it's going to work for sure now. So there was some sort of maybe some sort of connectivity or whatever you call it. But yeah, I've faced this many times before also. So the only solution what we normally do is, oh man, don't tell me again. Again, result on the same thing. Uh, Spillable memory manager. So basically, when we do this group by or anything command, it's actually creating some issues. What it looks like. Group by combiner, localhost, message of failed. Pigstat utility one failed. Okay, so this is definitely a bug somewhere in this stuff. But I can't say that too because I've executed this stuff before for my other session or something. Oops, some job has failed, specifically stop immediately or failure. Okay, so I just don't want to delay it anymore. So it looks like not that. So this is someone is right. Someone said so when it was trying to do a grouping, some node was creating issue. It can even happen like the previously when I was playing around with some node, since it's a pseudo distributed node that executing an algebraic function, error executing an algebraic function. So basically after group by, yeah, Sapna. So there's an applause for you. The first one. Basically post the group by function. I guess this sum. So this two together combine. I mean it's not able to detect some of this thing. So I'll try to sort that out before our next session and let you guys know what exactly I did in case if I do something, or if it's get automatically resolved, I will not come and show off over here that I have burned my midnight oil to get all those things sorted. So I'll be frank with you guys how I sorted it. Okay, so I don't want to delay it anymore. It's getting late for you guys for even for the next thing. So good night and see you guys all coming Thursday, in fact. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, we have class on Thursday. So this, I said the issue is on next Thursday. 11th is what I will not be available. So this Thursday, yes, we do have class. Okay, yeah. Even if anything is there, so I mean, I'll definitely be sending you guys email. So this Thursday definitely I have. There is a session this Thursday, but next Thursday, in case worst case scenario, if I'm able to pick it up or anything, I'll be sending up accordingly email. So based on that email only, you guys need to reactively act. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much and good night, guys. Yeah, reactively active. Close without saving, close and stop share. Gosh, and end meeting. Good night, everyone. End meeting.